Hi, guys. Hey, I just wanted to talk to you about the healing stuff and something that just seems kind of odd to people. And I know it did for me too when I first started. But when you are trying to work on the physical part of the body, and I bring up that there's what's the emotional part of it? When did it start? What was going on emotionally? What is the trauma from your past, from your childhood, from your life? And when I bring that up to some people, they're especially people that are new to this, and I get it. It doesn't make sense. They don't get it. But it's so bizarre because, like, I try to talk to them. Hey, they've got something physical going on. And I'm talking to them about, well, what's the emotions? When did it start? What was going on when it first started? And like me, when I went to my classes, I didn't care what it took. I wanted to be able to eat. I was so sick that I could not eat. I had Mayo Clinic tell me to just stop eating. I'm allergic to food because all my organs was shutting down from all the medicines they was giving me because of my back and all my surgeries. And I was in so much pain that I had to keep taking more medicine because of that. But once I went to my classes and I started working on the emotional part, on the belief systems, on the traumas, on what had gone on through my childhood. And once that you start working on that, you'll be surprised that it really does have something to do with the whole physical thing. And I know it's hard for some people to grasp the concept of it because it just doesn't make sense. People think that I've lost my ever-loving mind. But when I went to my class, so my teacher was teaching us about the emotions and about the trauma and about what that does to your body. Remember, I keep saying over and over and over again, your body is just the messenger. Don't shoot the messenger. See what message the messenger is bringing you, and it's telling you something not just about your body. It's telling you about your emotions, about your belief system, about what's going on in your life. And if you can address that, seriously, it can heal the physical. It seriously can. I'm here standing and walking and dancing and hiking and driving all over the country. You've seen me out on Facebook. I'm all over the place. I could barely even drag my ass out of bed. I had to have, when my kids was little, we had to move my brother-in-law in, and he had to take care of me for a year. My niece had to come over and help me with the kids. My 80-something-year-old grandma had to come get my kids out of the crib because I couldn't lift the kids up. I couldn't even walk. I had to lift one leg and put it in front of me, hold the walls, brace myself up, and drag my other leg. That's how I walked for a year. I could not sit. The pain was so horrific. I could not sit because the nerves in my back was pinched and messed up. And come to find out years later, one of the vertebrae was completely in the middle of my back, was completely twisted sideways from the accident. So the doctors cannot believe that I wasn't completely paralyzed, but I'm too damn hard-headed and dumb to realize that I probably should have been. But I wasn't about to go down that road. So anyway, when I went to my classes, and sorry about all the knocking, I've got a woodpecker out here, and if I could catch him, I'd give him some trauma. So anyway, you're gonna hear a lot of knocking, and it's just my woodpecker. Anyway, so when I went to classes, it was really a struggle because she wanted to work on my trauma from my childhood. And why was it coming up now? Why am I having, I could do the same thing as what people tell me. Every time I do a session on people, they're like, well, I had a car accident. Okay, good. So did I. That doesn't mean that that's an excuse and, okay, you can't walk. You got in a car accident, you can't walk. That doesn't just stop right there. That's just the beginning. Why did you have that car accident? And then people want to go down the road of, well, it's somebody else's fault. They ran into me. They went through a red light and they hit me. Okay, well, that's an excuse. What is it teaching you? When I look, honest to God, what my feeling is I wasn't on my path I needed to be on. I knew since I was 5 or 6 years old, I knew that I was supposed to do healing. That was my passion since I was born. I can't remember anything but looking for spirits, talking to spirits, wanting to heal people, wanting to make people feel better, wanting to make people laugh, wanting to make people smile. And so this has been a lifetime passion for me. I can't think of nothing else that I've ever wanted to be. Nothing I wanted to do. And so I believe everything happens for a reason. And you can argue with me all you want, and you're not going to get anywhere. I'm not going to fight with you. You're right with what you believe. I'm right with what I believe. And I honestly believe everything happens for a reason. And I believe that car accident put me in alignment with my path. It put me in alignment with having to be healed, with having to learn how to heal, because I'm not from this world. I grew up LDS down in Salt Lake. All I knew is what the church told us and what my mom and dad told us and what the community told us. I didn't know anything about natural healing. I didn't grow up in Idaho. I mean, yeah, if I was up here, I might have learned different things, but not down in Salt Lake, not in the community I grew up in. This was nothing to me. I didn't learn about this until after all my car accidents. This was a crazy place to be. I didn't know nothing about it. So here I grew up in Salt Lake. I don't know nothing about that, and I get in this car accident. Why can't I walk? Okay, you know what? I went down a bad road. I just started getting depressed, and the pain was so severe that I just wanted out. That's all I wanted was out. But I believe that everything puts us in alignment for our purpose, our higher purpose, for our greater being of why we're here. So I get through this accident, get in another accident, hurt my neck. And then I start having panic and anxiety, like through the roof. I didn't know what PTSD was. I didn't know I had it all the time growing up. I didn't know I had it from these car accidents. And now I have this thing that I can look back on and go, okay, that was PTSD. I've worked through it. I've worked through some severe depression through the pain and through the surgeries and through everything that I went through. So anyway, I go to the school. They teach us about working on emotions and working on beliefs. I find out that I had to go back to my childhood. And the reason why it's coming now, first of all, I wasn't in alignment with my path. Getting in this car accident put me in alignment with my path. Yeah, it sucked. It sucked bad. But you know what? Now I'm where I need to be. And I wasn't going to be if I didn't get in that accident. I know it. So I get in the accident. I'm hurt. I can't walk. Blah, 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 blah. Anxiety is so bad that I can't even drive now. We have to move out of Idaho. We have an opportunity to come up to Idaho. I mean, we had to move out of Utah. The traffic's so bad. The anxiety, I can't even drive. So we move up to Idaho. And the traffic's a quarter of what it is in Utah. So I come up here and I get another car accident. It's like I feel like, honestly, that the universe was just trying to shake the shit out of me and go, Carrie, you're not listening. Come on. What do we have to do to get you to that point? And I'm so hard-headed and determined that I got myself walking twice. And so we move up here. And I get in the third car accident. Now I have to get my ass up and out of bed and get moving again. And now I've got anxiety so bad I can't leave the house. I'm stuck in the house. And so once I'd gotten sick enough where I couldn't eat and I started losing so much weight, I couldn't even process food. So now they're sending me to Mayo Clinic. They're sending me all over the country. I decide I have to save my own life. And the only way I can do it is by doing alternative healing. So I start investigating it. So I find this class. And I go to the class. And she starts talking about the childhood traumas and about all the beliefs that went along with it. I realize that, okay, first of all, this brought me onto my path. Second of all, my kids are now just starting to be at that mature stage. That's when my dad starts beating the girls, is when they start being mature, because now they're starting to be women. And he has a issue with dealing with women. So the activation of it is that my children are now the age when my dad started really beating us. So that activates me. That activates this pain body. So I start working on the emotions. What comes up is, okay, I had used the beating my entire life as, well, my dad did that, so that's why I'm so angry. That's why I'm so blah 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 blah, because I had a lot of anger. Oh my gosh, I was such an angry child. But when I looked at how I really felt and got down to the subconscious and the beliefs, I realized that my dad beating me taught me that I had no value, that love, and that was the worst thing about the beating. It wasn't the beating, it was the fact that I was told this is what love is. Love is hard. Love is abuse. Love is mean and cruel. That was the worst part. And all the abandonment of, even if we didn't get laughed, then being at the table when you did something wrong, then you was ignored. And so there was abandonment in every form in my childhood. And so when I looked back at the emotions, the beliefs, the traumas, everything that happened, it all come down to the fact of how did it make me feel about myself. That's where every single thing comes down to. What is your belief about yourself and your value? So it was that dads don't just beat you, you have to deserve it. I believed that I was just a troublemaker and I was just a piece of shit, and that's why my dad had to beat me. He had to beat me because I was a little asshole. That's what I believed. So when I started working on those emotions and those beliefs, and it went back to why, then I realized, okay, my dad wasn't beating me. It had nothing to do with me. My dad was so angry, he was just beating. And it didn't have anything to do with me. I'm not a little a-hole, and I'm not a piece of crap. I don't deserve to be beat. And that is not how love is. That's not what I deserve love to be. And when I dug even deeper, I realized that my dad, here he is, 6 foot something, 340 pounds, and he's this huge man, and he's a professional wrestler, and his mom, the whole time growing up, she beat him so severely. How did he feel about himself? So in all actuality, once I dug into it deeper, I realized my dad wasn't beating me. He was beating his mom out of his own head. That's what he was doing. It had nothing to do with me. It had nothing to do with my values, and it had nothing to do with my worth. And whether you believe it or not, by working on that, I was able to heal my physical of being able to walk. You could ask everybody that's ever even met me. I was down in bed for, 10, 15 years. I got up and did very little because that's all I could do. My kids had to grow up helping do everything because I could barely get out of bed. When they was little, I did quite a bit, but then, like I says, it was right about that age to the end of elementary to junior high when things started getting bad. So when I ask you seriously, I'm like, okay, what was you going through? I know the first thing that people want to do is go, you don't understand, I fell and I broke my leg. Okay, good. What was going on emotionally? Where does that go back to? There seriously is more to it than what you're giving it credit to. And I know people think, oh my God, you're pissing me off. This doesn't make sense. Okay, right, it doesn't. Open up your mind and just be willing to look back at the emotions and the trauma and the things that caused it. Anything's possible. And until you're willing to open up your mind and look at it, you're never going to see it. And that's how you heal. I can guarantee you, I was in as much pain as you could possibly be in without actually committing suicide. I begged every day, God, show me how to kill myself because I can't live like this. But I could not handle the fact that I knew that one day my kids was going to need me, and I couldn't not be there for them. I couldn't let them blame themselves that their mom killed themselves. So I did everything I could to get through the pain and the suffering because I knew one day it was all going to be okay. And I worked through it, and I can guarantee you, don't give up hope. Don't be hopeless. Know that this really can be healed. Whatever is going on really can be healed. I promise you, it all makes sense. It might be confusing and it might be hard to understand, but I am out hiking. I'm out driving. I am out living my life. I am all over the place doing whatever I want to do because that's what I see fit in my life. I laid in that bed for long enough. I won't do it again. And if I can help anybody else get to that point that you can get yourself over anything, I don't care what disease it is, what ailment it is, I don't care if they say that you're going to die from it, I call bullshit. Anything can be healed if you're willing to dig into it and help heal emotionally and physically and spiritually. I know that I went on and I kept going off in all different directions, but I hope that this does help you to understand a little bit. And if you have any questions, call me or text me or Facebook me, whatever, and let me see if I can help you. I promise you there is answers out there, and I'm the one to do it. I can help you. I am a tool. I am a vessel of God, and I'm here to get you through. And I suffered. I suffered through it, so I know. I know what it's like, and I know how to get you through it. Give me a call, give me a chance, and let me help you. I love you. Please have faith in yourself. Find the love and the worth and the value of you, because you are worth it. And one day it'll pay off. Trust me. I love you guys.